Més cap a la dreta per Messi, 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 immens Messi, encara 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 Messi, gol, 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 gol.
The story of Lionel Messi and Barcelona was supposed to be forever. 21 years, hundreds of goals, and a trophy room that looked like a museum. But in 2020, the world of football shook. It all started with a simple piece of paper and ended with a tissue soaked in tears. This is Messi's final season at Barcelona. A year of drama, records, and a goodbye that no one, not even Messi, wanted to happen. To understand why this was so crazy, you have to remember how it all started. Barcelona didn't just sign Messi, they saved him. When he was a 13-year-old kid in Argentina, he had a growth hormone problem, and his family couldn't afford the treatment. Barcelona was the only club that stepped up. They famously signed him on a paper napkin because they didn't want to lose him, and they paid for his medical bills. He owed them everything, and the club became his entire life. It all went downhill after that 8-2 loss to Bayern Munich. This happened on August 14th, 2020, and it wasn't just a defeat, it was a total humiliation. But this result didn't come out of nowhere. It happened at a time when the club was already falling apart behind the scenes. For years, the board had been making terrible decisions. After Neymar left in 2017, they panicked and threw away over 400 million euros on huge transfers like Coutinho, Griezmann, and Dembele. Most of these moves failed, and the club ended up with the highest salary bill in the world, but a team that was too old and too slow to compete. To make things even more toxic, the president, Bartomeu, was caught in a scandal. It was revealed the club actually paid people to attack their own players, including Messi, on social media. Messi was tired. He was tired of the board, tired of the losing, and tired of the lies. So, he did the unthinkable. He sent a burofax to the club saying, "I want to leave." Fans were in shock. They surrounded the stadium, screaming for the president, Bartomeu, to resign. For 2 weeks, everyone thought Messi was going to Manchester City. But the club blocked him. They told him he'd have to pay 700 million euros to leave or go to court. Messi didn't want to sue the club he loved, so he stayed. When the season started, things got even worse. The club forced out Luis Suarez, Messi's best friend, just to save money. And we all know how close the friendship between Messi and Suarez was. The internet is full of videos and photos of them together. "You're unique, Luis Suarez, both on and off the field. I care about you a lot," wrote the Argentine in a post featuring a warm hug with El Pistolero. Even though he was sad, Messi was still Messi. In December, he broke Pele's legendary record by scoring his 644th goal for a single club. It was a huge moment, but the stadium was empty because of the pandemic. No fans, no cheering. Just a quiet record for a man who looked like he wanted to be anywhere else. Slowly, things started to change in early 2021. A young kid named Pedri showed up, and he and Messi started playing beautiful football together. They were on the same wavelength. Messi started smiling again. Then, the bad guys at the club leaked Messi's contract to the newspapers. They tried to make him look like the reason the club was broke. But Messi answered on the pitch. He led the team all the way to the Copa del Rey final. They crushed Athletic Bilbao 4-0, and Messi scored one of the best goals of his life. Seeing him lift that trophy, everyone thought, the summer comes around. Messi finally wins a trophy with Argentina. He's on top of the world, and he flies back to Barcelona. He wasn't there to negotiate. He was there to sign. He even agreed to cut his salary by 50% just to help the club. But then, he went to the meeting, and the president, Laporta, told him, "We can't sign you. We have too much debt, and the league won't let us." Messi was stunned. He hadn't talked to any other clubs because he was 100% sure he was staying at Barcelona. In just one afternoon, his life was turned upside down. The club he'd been at since he was 13 years old was basically telling him, "Sorry, you have to go." A few days later, Messi walked into a room for his final press conference. Before he could even say one word, he broke down. He was crying like a child. This wasn't a hero's exit. There was no full stadium, no parade, no last lap of honor. He said it himself. Last year I wanted to leave, but this year I didn't. He was forced out because of bad management and money problems. 2 days later, he was in Paris, wearing a PSG shirt. It felt wrong. When the news officially broke that Messi was leaving, the internet went crazy, but the streets of Barcelona were silent. That night, thousands of fans gathered outside Camp Nou. You've probably seen the videos, people sitting on the pavement, crying their eyes out, staring at the gates in total disbelief. It felt like a funeral for the soul of the city. The most heartbreaking part was when he left the stadium for the last time. Fans surrounded his car, blocking the road and hitting the windows, not to be mean, but to beg him to stay. They were screaming, "We love you and please don't go." They followed his car until he was out of sight, chasing the man who gave them everything for 21 years. Messi didn't leave Barcelona because he wanted more money or a new challenge. He left because he had no choice. And that is how the greatest story in football history ended, not with a trophy, but with a heartbroken man saying goodbye to his home. He didn't just leave a club, he left his life behind. The kid who arrived with a contract written on a napkin, left with his heart broken into 1,000 pieces. Barcelona lost more than a player that day. They lost their identity.